So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is... wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wait For It podcast. I am your co-host Phil Smith, aka Phil the Filipino, and joining me as always is your other co-host, Mr. Eric Almighty. And Eric, after a very long and tenuous award show, which we are, you know what, we get it. Again, it's what people anticipate all year long, so we are more than happy to go ahead and exhaust ourselves. But we are back with the December bonus episode of What Did I Miss? And we're going to finish the year on a fun note here, as I have come up with even more games for us to play, as we did, if you didn't check out last month's return to What Did I Miss? So we played some games, and this time around, I've got a couple more for us to play with our returning guests. And yeah, excited to end the year and again, start focusing on 2024 once this is all said and done.
Super exciting stuff. It was a successful first iteration for the third time. It's a charm for What Did I Miss? So I'm really hoping that this continues in the right direction. And I heard you got some fun games for us as well, in addition to these crazy stories from December. So I'm excited.
Yes, games that certainly are not going to stir up any type of controversy on any social media app whatsoever. So, we're not going to, this is a very casual episode. If you guys have did not check out the first one, as I said, it is the one where we just literally go over stories from the past month and play some games. And there's very little editing. There's just a whole lot of laughs and just a good time with our friends. And speaking of our friends, Philline and Jordan have rejoined us here in December. We thank you guys for coming back and being part of this test phase, essentially being our guinea pigs for What Did I Miss? And a couple months in a row now, I think we are showing that it is a good time and people are enjoying it. So thanks so much for coming back. And Philline and Jordan, how were your holidays? And again, thanks for being here. How are you guys doing this evening? Anyone want to answer the question? Jordan, you're still on mute.
I'm doing great.
Christ. Philline is also on mute.
Sorry, I was letting Jordan go first.
I'm already ready.
Dude, I feel like we just went into a fucking
good.
time warp 5 years ago, dude. I'm having some massive PTSD.
I am already ready to jettison this laptop into the lake behind my home. So that's a good start.
My holidays were great. I watched Godzilla -1 with Phil, and it was very enjoyable. I'm glad I watched it. It was a little bittersweet. As you guys know, my husband is deployed, so it was a sad time. It was a sad Christmas, but overall, I appreciate everyone reaching out and making sure that I was good this Christmas. So yes, it was nice.
Yeah, shout out to Peter, who is obviously going to show this to everybody on his ship, and we're going to get more international listeners as he handed out multiple flyers, I guess, when he was in Puerto Rico last time. So we expect the same results this time around, Peter. We thank you for serving the Wait For It podcast. We really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and just jump into this December, even though it's kind of considered, a little bit of a quieter month. A shit ton of stuff happened, and we have all selected a story to go over. And you know what, guys? You know what that means? We did not pick just as last time, we did not set a who goes first here, because we leave it up to the fates of the gods, and that god is the wheel. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing back the said wheel to select who is going to go first. And look, Eric, there is actually a full screen version of this, so there's no ads. I didn't know that last time around. So much better, as we will do this. So, are you guys ready to see who's going first on the December edition of What Did I Miss?
I'm ready.
So excited.
I'm so excited. I was expecting pictures on this wheel, like we saw.
Yeah,
okay, so I actually did try to
Bruce-
do that, but they don't fill up like the individual triangles. It's just like a weird rectangle, and it looks really ugly. So it did not work out very, very well. So, all right, you guys know the drill. People listening and people watching know the drill. Eric, do you want to count us down?
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and then say what you need to say.
So what's
All
the
right.
cadence? What is the cadence? Are we going bah, bah, bah? Are we going bah, bah, bah? Like really fast or slower?
What do you think? Why would I go 3, 2, 1? Surprise!
No. How are we going to say spin that wheel? Not the numbers, not the countdown.
Probably the same cadence that we do the 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Spin
That works.
that
works.
wheel. How do they do it in the shows, Phil?
Well, no. Remember when we did the fucking Christmas special? Everyone got all up in arms. It was doing it in different.
That group of people
speeds.
also did not want to do the wheel at all.
We totally upended the Christmas special for the second year in a row, I think. So
Well,
anyway.
Jay should have been more prepared. So, as far as I'm concerned,
All right.
let's get into it. We're doing this. We're counting down, and we'll do the same cadence. It's gonna be 3, 2, 1. Spin
that
wheel.
Okay, that wasn't a great start.
pretty tough.
It's okay. And it looks like it's gonna be Jordan. Woo!
Woohoo! I'm
All
first.
right, so let's do that. All right, Jordan, what do you have for What Did I Miss? Kick us off for December.
So I wanted to kick off because I know I'm a huge gamer. I almost said I went to the Game Awards. I'm a huge gamer, and I, of course, saw the Game Awards. So there's a lot of exciting announcements. So I did want to talk about specifically Hideo Kojima. So, of course, Japanese video game designer Hideo Kojima announced that he is partnering with A24 for a live-action cinematic adaptation of Death Stranding. So, Death Stranding, as you know, has made a significant impact since its debut, with over 5 million sales and widespread acclaim as one of the top video games of this century. So, Kojima on A24 said that he has been attracted to their creations, and they have inspired his own work. So, their innovative approach to storytelling really aligns with Kojima Productions. In addition to this A24 partnership, Kojima also announced at the Game Awards his collaboration with Jordan Peele on the new game OD, which is going to star some pretty famous people like Sophia Lillis, who's in the new It series, Hunter Schafer from Euphoria. So I just wanted to bring that up specifically because we're seeing this huge crossover with video games and entertainment, specifically TV and film. So, of course, we saw Mario as an animated film, Last of Us on HBO, Fallout's going to be releasing next year on Prime Video, and then, Uncharted, if we want to include that being a release of something. I know we don't want to talk about it, but, it's not uncommon to hear Kojima partnering with these directors. He did a partnership with Guillermo del Toro for Silent Hill PT. So I'm personally excited about this collaboration. I think it's going to be a great strategy for game studios to partner with these TV film directors. And I just want to see more of these collaborations in the future.
Yeah, this is exciting as far as Hideo Kojima and A24, but Death Stranding is a stupid game. I have no desire whatsoever to see this be made into a live action. As I didn't play the game, but I watched a lot of Let's Plays, and I don't want to see a UPS simulator in A24 film style. So it was a cool announcement, but the game itself, not for me.
Yeah,
I think I'm more
whenever-
excited of the Jordan Peele collaboration, though.
Yeah, that's the aspect that
Right,
excites
right.
me. Like, I think there's definitely a cinematic element to it. It would be more of an interesting, like, film to that type of form of media than it would be in gaming for me as well. Like, I'm never planning or going to play that game.
So obviously,
Philline, do you know what Death Stranding is?
I was about to say, obviously, I'm the honorary gaming person in this.
The only thing
No,
I
I
can
have
tell
no
you
idea
about
what
Death
that is.
Stranding,
What is that?
and I've never
It's
played
got
it
Mountain
either.
Dew in it.
It's got Norman Reedus, who was in The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Okay.
The thing is, like, Norman Reedus, like, he featured in the Silent Hill teaser trailer thing that Hideo Kojima made, but then that, like, partnership kind of, like, fell off with Silent Hill, so then I guess he, like, moved him over to Death Stranding. Not as exciting, in my opinion.
Well, Hideo Kojima and Konami had a huge falling out, and that's why Silent Hill was canceled. So it never saw the light of day. So that's when, so that's why they pivoted, and he then made the Death Stranding game with Norman Reedus. So there's a pretty big long history that got really nasty at the end of Hideo Kojima's run with Konami, and it wasn't very good. But I mean, he is one thing that can't be denied is he's a fantastic storyteller. It's just Death Stranding was not something that I was personally interested in. Norman Reedus carries a baby in a backpack across some sort of land, and he delivers packages. That's probably simplifying it a little bit, but
that sounds like the Mandalorian.
That's kind of what's going on.
So like
but Grogu's not in a backpack, like the whole, like in a symbiotic sack. He's he can be moved around. The baby can't come out of the backpack in Death Stranding.
It can't come out of the backpack?
No, I'm pretty sure it will die if it comes out of the backpack. It's like there's no way to possibly explain Death Stranding in this short amount of time.
We'll see when the A24 adaptation comes out, though.
I mean, I do love A24, so we'll see.
Right. Are we going to see that Civil War movie with Ron Swanson in it?
Maybe, actually. I know that one guy in the theater is definitely watching.
Oh, yeah. There was a guy that was super hyped for it when we saw Godzilla -1. He had a very uncomfortable reaction to some of the scenes, so we should probably keep an eye on that dude. But again, like I said, I think it's whenever super creative people partner with A24, usually only good things come out of it. But I'm not going to see a Death Stranding film. All right, let's get into the next story here. We're going to bring it back. Let's see. Boom. All right, Eric, you ready?
3, 2, 1. Spin! That
Wheel!
This is so far behind.
God, dude.
I couldn't take it off mute.
I heard her like
Okay, this is
fall
this
behind
is
a
going
little
the
bit.
Stay
same
off
way
mute.
it went last time.
Yeah, just stay off mute. Here, it's you. It's you.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk about kind of just how superhero movies in general have been doing in 2023. So the story that I wanted to bring up was that over the 4-day weekend, which was the Christmas holiday, Aquaman, the second one, had the worst opening of the weekend box office in the 15-year history of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Only bringing in just $40 million over the 4-day weekend, which is a huge blow. And the only 2 comic book films that made it in the top 10 for 2023 was Guardians of the Galaxy and Across the Spider-Verse. So I just wanted to open up the conversation to you guys, kind of like, how do you guys feel? Like, how do we come back from this? Like, as, as comic book movie fans, like, is there no going back at this point? Where do we kind of pivot? Because we all kind of have the opinion that Marvel movies this year just did not hit, and the shows aren't hitting, the TV shows aren't hitting. So kind of what are you guys thinking, and what can we kind of go and do? And Phil, you just watched Aquaman too, so how did you kind of feel? And
well, really quick, you said Aquaman had a $40 million opening, and it was one of the lowest in Marvel's history, but it's not a Marvel movie.
It says
in the DC EU.
Sorry, the Marvels registered the worst opening weekend box office
the Marvels
of any
did.
movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, fared even worse over the Christmas holiday, bringing in just $40 million.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Aquaman, again, totally surprised, not very good. It was a just a mess of CGI. And Phil and you and I talked about this beforehand. I mean, it's kind of impossible to do Aquaman without a shit ton of CGI. It's all underwater. But the DCEU is now dead, so they're completely rebooting that. And Eric, you and I talked about the Marvel movies just the other day in our end of the year episode. It's post Endgame. There's not really a lot of incentive, and now with the story we're going to be talking about later, the MCU is just in total shambles. There's no real creative direction. Eric, I think you've mentioned this on a TikTok or are going to. We have all these end credit scenes that lead nowhere. They don't even matter anymore. So when it comes to, there definitely is a superhero fatigue, and I think now we're seeing more than ever with a lot of the films that were successful this year, and actually over the last couple of years, is we're seeing people wanting more original IPs and not just, based off of, cartoons or toys or comic books. People are looking for original ideas. So, it is what it is. I don't really have any more high hopes in 2024, specifically for Marvel. I think Deadpool has a chance to be good, but other than that, I think there's only one other movie coming out in the MCU next year. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't really care about James Gunn's DCU, which is now coined as. I don't know how you feel, Eric, but I think we've just turned the corner, and after Endgame, honestly, what else is there really to look forward to?
Yeah, they are in a weird spot. We will be revisiting the MCU again when we get to my story. Another big thing that's happened that's really thrown it all into whack. I'm ready for something new, something fresh. Right now, that is the Spider-Verse movies for us, but there's not very much to look forward to. I do think the DCEU needed to die a long time ago, so I'm glad it's over. A very unceremonious funeral in Aquaman 2 for the DCEU, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Really quick before Jordan goes, there is one cinematic universe other than Marvel that has been successful, and it's the MonsterVerse. King Kong and Godzilla. We're not the biggest fans of those movies, but they're still around, and they make a lot of money. And the next one, I'm going to be there. I know, Eric, you might skip it, but I'm going to be there.
Furious for a second. I was
The Fast and Furious universe.
There's even limits to what I'll do for the Fast series. Jordan, what do you think? I know you've been in and out on Marvel and DC stuff. Sometimes you watch them, sometimes you don't. So as a casual fan, sometimes how do you feel about just all this superhero stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that people are probably looking for original ideas, maybe not stuff that's based off comic books, but I do see the entertainment in them. So I think the reason I don't really follow a lot of Marvel is because they're just pumping it out every other month, every single day you find out something's new, like a series on Disney Plus or a movie or something else that's going on. I feel quality just gets lost every time they just keep producing things based off a comic. They find a new comic, they're all right, let's make a new movie off this, make a series, and then it's just we're casting these people so quickly, we're pushing it out, and it's just maybe that's what's where it's lacking. I feel they need to take a break a little bit from the universe, maybe even we take a year or two off, and then we just come back in full force maybe in 2026, 2025 even. I feel we just need to take a break from it, because even video games do this, TV shows will do it. It's something well needed.
Yeah, I think the issue now though is financially you can't take a break. I know you can throw out a movie. I watched a video, Eric, on What Culture today. Blade will probably be a movie they just throw out there and cut their losses, right? Which is a bummer, because Mahershala Ali, I think, would be an outstanding Blade. But the movie doesn't have a really big budget, and it's been in development hell. They haven't even started filming it yet. So they can just throw stuff out there to flounder, which is what they did with the Marvels. Let's be honest. The Marvels isn't that good of a movie, but they didn't do any of those actors and actresses any favors. I mean, obviously the strike was going on, but that movie was sent out to just die. So, that's where we are. But unfortunately, because they have promoted these so much, they can't take a break at this point, and pivot.
I mean, that makes sense, but at the same time, we don't want a $200 million throwaway movie. I'm okay with a less than $100 million Blade budget if the story is good. So again, they made half of Daredevil Born Again, apparently, and then they just tossed it because at some point they were like, oh, this isn't very good, and they just redid it. So if that's what they're doing with Blade, maybe it's for the better. Who knows?
I mean, even like when you think about it, like the marketing has it in play also, because like Barbie, we found out was going to be coming out for like years now, right? Like I think it was like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago they started like posting out photos, things were coming out. We know nothing about it. There's not like a Barbie cinematic universe that we knew about, but there's just huge marketing around it. So it made like a tons of like dollars, like in this. Oh my god, I can't speak. It made a lot of money, so it's like the people were like really excited about it. There was a huge like fan base. It's still a cult following, especially like it being released on HBO. All of HBO is pink for Barbie Land. So it's like if you do the same thing with like say like the next Spider-Man movie, give it a couple of years of like insane marketing, people will get like pumped up and excited, and then you have the time to produce a quality movie.
But I also think Barbie, like we've been saying, is an original story. That's something new that we haven't really had. So
Remember, there was almost an Amy Schumer Barbie movie that would have been a disaster. So I'm glad we didn't get that. There were some leaks about that where she was like Barbie was basically like an idiot in the story. She was basically the butt of the joke the whole film. So glad we didn't get that version of the movie. But hey, superhero films, they're here to stay. They still make a ton of money, and they're not slowing down, whether that's for the good or the bad. All right, let's see what we got next. It'd be really funny if this goes the exact same way as it did last month, and ultimately this won't matter. Eric, whenever you're ready.
All right, when he says that, that is a cue to come off mute because I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1. Spin
that wheel.
Oh, that was.
It's getting worse,
dude.
It's
getting
so
worse.
bad.
It's
Oh. I think this is the same order, right?
I think
Maybe?
I went last time.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
opposite. I think.
Yeah,
Didn't we go
You went
opposite?
first last
Jordan and I
time.
went last. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Did we?
Didn't I
No.
go first? I went first.
Did we? Oh,
did.
okay.
I went first last time.
Day.
Yeah, we're literally going the opposite way.
Yeah.
Opposite day. Okay, cool. Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Jordan had mentioned The Last of Us. And I was going to talk about like those Insomniac leaks, but I mean, people have covered that over and over again. And honestly, I don't want to give the people that did what they did any more time in the spotlight. So let's talk about something that I have kind of like mixed feelings about. And that was because Naughty Dog cancels its Last of Us multiplayer game. This happened probably about a couple weeks ago. Naughty Dog announced that it's canceled the multiplayer game it was building in the Last of Us universe. The studio says it has been in pre-production of The Last of Us Online, even while working on The Last of Us Part 2. Quote, we were enthusiastic about the direction in which we were headed, according to a blog post about the news. However, to release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come. Severely impacting development on future single-player games, so we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. Clearly, Naughty Dog isn't picking the latter path. It also says it has more than one big new single-player titles in the works. The Last of Us Online development already seemed to be in some trouble, as back in May, they announced a delay to the game due to Sony reevaluating the game's direction. Naughty Dog also revealed it was working on a brand new single-player experience in that same report from earlier in the year. And also, they stated that The Last of Us Online was basically on ice. And I honestly, this is a little bit of a bummer because The Last of Us Factions in the first game is excellent. It was very hard, but it was really crazy how well The Last of Us gameplay translated to an online game. And that's why a lot of people were excited about this. I think the big story here is, I mean, like I said in the blog post, they've been working on this for almost 10 years. Like The Last of Us Part 2 began development in like 2014, 2015. And for them to pick the path to stick to what Naughty Dog is good at doing, which is single-player content, which is what they're talking about, I think is a big deal. Eric, how many, and Jordan, since we've been gaming together for 3 years now, 2-3 years, how many live service games have we picked up and they just die, right? I mean, we're talking about the Portal game. What was that game called? Splitgate. There was a Rogue Company, the dodgeball one, the one with roller derby. Like, all these games are all these studios trying to capitalize on games as a service. And honestly, there's no room for a new one. We already have Call of Duty, you have Fortnite, you have the Titanfall one, whatever. I can't remember the name of it right now. And there's really like 4 or 5 games right now that are taking up space, and no one's going to drop those games to play something else. So as a little bit disappointing this is, I think it is a good sign, and I hope more developers see what Naughty Dog has chosen to do. Eric, the studio I immediately think of is Rocksteady, putting out this awful Suicide Squad game that's going to be a games as a service game with a battle pass and all that shit. Or Rocksteady, I think that's what I said. But yeah, I think this is a good sign. It also is a little bit of a bummer, but what do you think about, Naughty Dog putting its foot down and saying, nope, this is not the direction we want to do, or the direction we want to go? Eric, I'll send it to you first.
Just feels like a lot of wasted time and effort on so many people's parts. It also feels like they knew that this was probably going to be the case at some point, and they probably have been sitting on it for a while. That's just pure speculation, but I am happy that it's not happening. You've always tried to get me to play like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I know that's not Naughty Dog, but The Last of Us with the Uncharted multiplayer, The Last of Us was hopefully going to be something like that. I know you've spoken about it at lengths. Those are just a little too stiff to be like online shooters for me. Again, even though Red Dead is a different franchise, a different company, it's the same thing. I can't imagine that being very fluid, and that's what I want in a game like Fortnite, that we put on and we just have mindless fun, and it's easy to work and easy to use, easy to pick up. Those games just don't seem like they have that ability.
And Eric and I are now in a band on Fortnite, so it's going really, really well.
Just saying. Where else can you do that?
It's pretty fun. Jordan, again, as another one of our OG party members, what do you think about this? Did you want to play a Last of Us multiplayer game, or you're just like, oh well?
I mean, I'm pretty well about it. Like, I won't lie. Like, there are like games that will throw out a multiplayer. Like, Uncharted had a multiplayer at one point. I really enjoyed that, but I like we talk about every other game that we play, it can only be fun for so long, and then we just stop, and then we pick up Fortnite again, we start playing that because it just is constantly changing, and like we're gonna keep paying for the battle pass. I'm gonna keep buying Fortnite pass, I think that's what it's called, but it's like I feel like that's just the case. That's like the route that everyone needs to go, is like, are you gonna make like just think strategically when you develop like a multiplayer game, and Naughty Dog went the right direction with that, because I mean, I've never played The Last of Us multiplayer, and I don't think I was ever gonna plan to.
Yeah, again, the original factions mode was a lot of fun, but it is a totally different type of gameplay. Like Eric said, I think a gameplay that lends itself much better to single-player experiences. Philin, you have just started playing Fortnite with us in the past year, but also, you tried to. We very briefly got into Overwatch 2. That was a lot of fun while it lasted, even though we could never win. I mean, would a game like? I mean, you have been more of a observer of The Last of Us. You haven't played it really too much, but I mean, would there be any type of title as far as a game that's typically like just single player that would even get you to pick up something else? I mean, your gaming time is limited already.
Right. I don't really think so. I mean, I played all through Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, which would primarily because, I mean, it's Harry Potter. So I think if it's something that I'm really, really love, and it's a fandom that I really love, that's typically the games that I pick up. I mean, you know me, like the one game that I rave about and I would replay over and over and over again is Lollipop Chainsaw, and that came out like 20 years ago. I don't know. But so gaming to me is just isn't high on my list, but I think I can applaud them in the sense that they want to stay true to who they are. Like, it sucks that they wasted a lot of time, but the fact that they understand that who they are is telling great stories, which I've watched the games. That's what I do, is watch the games because they have such a great storytelling aspect to them. So the fact that they're sticking to that it just speaks volumes.
Yeah, I do think it's a good sign. And I think at one point, Eric, I don't know if you saw that report, there were like 5 to 10 games as a service games in development for Sony within like the last couple of years. I think they've scaled back on that, which is thank God, because again, we don't have any room. Oh, Destiny is another game. Destiny 2. People play the crap out of that, and no one, you're not going to leave Destiny. If you're hundreds of hours into Destiny, you're not going to drop it to go play, again, another game, another IP that you're just simply not interested in. So I do think it is a good sign, and hopefully more developers, Rocksteady, follow their lead. So, all right.
As another example, I wanted to talk about that we played was Texas Chainsaw and Dead by Daylight are like the same thing. But Dead by Daylight has like a huger fan base. So it's like if you were already playing Dead by Daylight, you're probably not going to play Texas Chainsaw, or you'll try it and then you're going to stop and then just go back to Dead by Daylight.
And go back to Dead by Daylight. That is a really good point. Dead by Daylight has carved out its audience, and it's a really fun game. We'll play it once every few months. We'll probably get the hankering to play it again around Halloween, and it's a lot of fun. I'll buy another secret character, scare the shit out of everybody, and have a good time. So they added like a creepy snowman. Did you guys see that? I kind of wanted to download it and play.
No.
All right, Dead by Daylight tonight. That's what I'm hearing. Oh God! All right. Well, we have one person left. We're gonna spin the wheel anyway, though, right? Are we gonna spin the wheel? It hasn't been going very well as far
No,
as
it hasn't. We'll give it a shot. All right,
give it one
everybody
more
get ready.
chance. This is it. This is it. All right.
All right. Are we ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Spin that wheel.
Oh
I think Flynn's just on a little bit of a lag. I think that's what it is.
Like Flynn's like just the
All right, who's it gonna be? It's Eric! Yay!
Oh my God, who would have known?
Oh my goodness, what a surprise. All right, Eric, what we got?
What a shocker. All right, guys. Well, heading back to the MCU, I want to kind of phrase this question, whether or not you've been keeping up with Marvel. Because me and Phil have openly discussed, right now, it's kind of easy to just not pick up Marvel projects and leave them by the wayside, completely forget about them. So you may not be fully in the know with what's going on in the MCU, but out of curiosity, especially post-Endgame, how does this news affect you that Jonathan Majors has been fired by Disney in the wake of, obviously, the assault and harassment charges that were put against him? We won't be really talking much about that, but more so the decision not to move forward with Majors. And obviously he plays Kang the Conqueror. He has shown up in both seasons of Loki and also the infamous Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which I know many of us here are not big fans of, but he has had several appearances, and it's kind of interesting because there's a lot of dialogue about what's going to happen next. Recently, Shang-Chi's director was initially going to direct Avengers Kang Dynasty. That has now moved on to Michael Waldron being involved in the project, who is the showrunner for Loki. So it seems like they were really heading down that direction. I don't know if that is the case. So if you're caught up and you have thoughts, what do you think they're going to do from here? And more importantly, what is this going to do to your Marvel experience and viewing? This has never really happened before on this scale. Think of Thanos being recasted in the middle of one of those phases leading up to Endgame. How is this going to affect your viewing? Is this just a cherry on top? You're going to leave it in the wayside? Are you curious or excited? What's going to happen next? I will throw this to Philline first and then Jordan.
Yeah, so if you guys listen to the episode that came out this week on the Wait for a Podcast, you guys would know that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was my worst film of this year, and the only redeeming quality for me was Kang the Conqueror, and ultimately that movie should just be thrown out at this point. There's no redeeming qualities in my opinion, and now that he's gone, that whole setup that they had in the post-credit scene, all of that just does not matter. So it just, I am not I don't know how to feel, honestly. I don't know where they can go from here. I know a couple different names have been thrown around. Obviously, a lot of people were hyped up about possibly having John Boyega come on, but he has no interest. As we know, he doesn't want anything to do with Disney anymore, which I don't blame him.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah. And then a lot of people have been throwing around the kid, I can't remember his name, I apologize, but the kid from Stranger Things, like making like a younger version of him and possibly throwing that in. But I am not feeling excited nor disappointed in any way, because the Marvel films have just not been hitting it for me, and the fact that all of these films that we were looking forward to are now affected by this one person is really shitty.
I'm kind of gonna, oh my gosh, I'm gonna jump off where Philin basically said as well, because we talked about Marvel movies previously. They're just not hitting anymore. I honestly, like I said, I'm like a casual fan. I'm not like caught up on a lot of the Marvel stuff, so I know a little bit about his character. Not too much, so it wasn't going to be exciting for me in the first place, but I feel like it is too late for them to recast or even just like rethink it, because if they do try to rethink it, like I said, they're gonna like push it out too soon, lose out on the quality of it, and then it's just gonna be a flop, I feel, if they just try to push something in the hopes to save the drama and save like the little scandal away from their name. But not really excited, not really. It is disappointing, but like Flynn said, the Marvel movies are kind of just going downhill.
I kind of disagree with them with it being too late to recast, because they've done it before. I mean, obviously not with a character of this magnitude. I mean, you can argue the Hulk obviously is a pretty important character, and they just recast him. I think if you still wanted to do the Kang storyline, I don't think it's impossible. But, I mean, at this point, I guess you just really pivot to one of the more iconic villains. I mean, everyone's throwing out Doctor Doom, or even making this now like changing it completely to an X-Men universe and just going from there. So I think they probably could have recast Kang if they wanted to, but they moved pretty swiftly, which means they had this prepared already. So I'm sure they had like 3 envelopes, like this is what's going to happen if A, B, or C happens, and whatever. This is where we ended up, and that's the protocol. That's the button they pushed, and here we are.
They didn't even let that man make it to Christmas. The same day, they fired that man. Yeah. My God!
Within like an hour, we knew. So they knew. They had all of the press releases were ready. Everything was good to go, no matter what the outcome was going to be, and here we are.
I will say that I believe we all follow him on TikTok and Instagram, but Stefan Johnson has requested to throw his name in as recast.
Put him in.
Put him in.
Put him in, man. I'm good.
Who would we like to see casted? Let's
as
go
Kang,
around.
Danny DeVito. They didn't give us Danny DeVito as Wolverine a few years ago. Remember that, Eric? So now's the chance to make it right.
No, I understand. I get it. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard Ryan Gosling is in talks for a role. Maybe he's going to replace as Kang. Ken. That'd be great. I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see. I think it's going to be tough to recast it. Hopefully they find the right person. John Boyega was a personal pick, but yeah, no, I get it. Stay away. Stay away.
Lakeith Stanfield. I mean, he's not as physically imposing as Jonathan Majors, but I'm sure he could bulk up.
What about throwing Michael B. Jordan back into MCU?
Everybody wants Killmonger back in, but I just don't see it
Killmonger
happening.
back. I don't want to see him as Kang.
They're just gonna go through the Creed cast? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Bring in Timothy Chalamet, and we'll make Wonka part of the MCU.
Bring back
Make
Harry
Wonka
Styles.
the big bad. I like that.
I don't know what happened to him.
Harry Styles is in the MCU already. You just forgot.
Yeah, no, I never
I
done anything about it.
I think Marvel forgot. Oh yeah, no, don't watch the Eternals. You don't have to.
No.
It's the
we're
Marvels.
gonna be watching that
yeah,
soon.
it's not good.
But yeah, no, that was definitely kind of the gimme story. Did we have any? I do technically have one. Do we have any honorable mentions before we get to the fun stuff planned in this episode? Anybody want to throw some out there?
I have a quick one. While we're just on the topic of Marvel, where James Gunn said that he thinks that superhero movies are suffering from too much cameo porn. And I thought that was kind of funny because, you know, in Peacemaker, all the Justice League shows up, which is a funny moment, but that's cameo porn. So I get what he's saying, but you've done that.
Yeah, and I would argue the MCU is currently suffering from a lack of real cameos, to be completely honest. That'd be my
real
opinion.
ones, like non end credit scene cameos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even the end credit ones are spoilers for the Marvels. Don't think you guys care. We got Beast. Out of all the X-Men, we got Beast. Come on now. You know, we got Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier earlier in the Multiverse of Madness. We got a picture of Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, but the first live one we really get to confirm it is Beast. It's a little tame. You know, that's all.
Yeah, but that was my only one. Philline, what did you have?
Mine was just more of a silly one, but so you guys know that my top film of the year was Saw X, and I was just going to throw in that the off-Broadway Saw musical just got pushed to have a national tour, which is super exciting. I'm actually interested in seeing it. It's going to be in San Diego for my birthday next year, so I'm just saying we should all go.
Only if we can fly into LAX, Philline's favorite airport.
LAX.
How's that musical gonna work? I'm just a little confused.
It's like a queer love story.
I'm so down. I'm so down, dude.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's gonna come out and he's like, I'm not throwing away my shot, and then he's taking off the head thing.
And then he shoots somebody.
I believe what I kind of read is, and if I'm wrong, then I apologize, but it seems like it's a story between Lawrence and I keep forgetting his name, but who he was stuck in the first movie, in the bathroom. It's a queer love story between.
Flynn, it's Jigsaw.
I just don't understand.
Is it canon?
No, not Jigsaw.
It's canon. It's canon, right?
It's totally canon, yeah.
What is that going to be? Do I choose the man I love? Or cut off all my own foot?
Am
how does that
I
work?
a man or am I a puppet?
Oh my God, that man just stood up.
He was here the whole time. I'm totally down to see it. I'm sure it will make its way.
We should also come up with the music. That'd be great.
I am down. Anybody else have any didn't make the cuts?
Mine was going to be
Jordan,
gaming related again. And I was going to talk about The Day Before, which released on Steam and then also got removed from Steam 4 days after it was released because it was voted one of the worst games. And then I think they got so much trash that the production company deleted all their social media too. So if it was still out there, I recommend we play that next, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. It has completely tried to wipe themselves from existence and doesn't know how the internet works, apparently, because screenshots are forever. And yeah, that was just an absolute disaster of a production. I followed that game from its announcement 3-4 years ago, and even then it was this is way too good to be true. They clearly had stolen assets from many other games, and there was absolutely no way that this was real. And you know what? It turned out not to be. So it was wild. We very lightly touched on it on the end of the year awards.
Yeah, probably the biggest scam from a gaming perspective this year, which is why my bonus story is probably the biggest scam from a movie perspective. And Zack Snyder does it again. Just giving us another movie that's going to require a director's cut. And again, I get it. I get studio interference is a real thing, but it just seems to always happen to this man. And it's just kind of crazy to release a movie like this. Have you guys had any interest at all in seeing this movie? Have you heard about some of the reviews? They've been pretty bad. I don't have an interest in seeing it, and apparently the second part, there's a director's cut, a rated R cut on its way, and then the second part is already being teased for April. I feel like they fumbled the bag here. So any thoughts on that?
We're talking about Rebel Moon. Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I have no interest.
Yeah, I actually just
No,
watched.
Thank you for asking for the clarifying question. That was great. Thank you so much. That was great.
I actually just watched a YouTube documentary on the DCEU just in general because, as we mentioned, it just ended. And yeah, you're right. It keeps happening. Obviously, what happened with the Justice League, there were tragic circumstances surrounding that. But I mean, when it comes to a point, it's like, well, let's see the real version of Superman. Let's see the director's cut of Batman vs Superman, Justice League, and now this. And like, I had a chance. So I've been trying to get to 30 new movies this year on my as far as what I've watched. And I had a choice. I saw Rebel Moon. They're on Netflix. And I watched Haunted Mansion instead, and it was a much better decision. I am very happy with my choices and don't plan on watching Rebel Moon whatsoever. Jordan, are you going to check it out?
No, thank you.
What about the Snyder Cut, Eric? Are we going to watch the Snyder Cut of Rebel
No. All right. Well, on that note, sorry for fucking bringing it up. Let's go play a game or something.
All right. I have prepared a couple of games here. Let's pull up my first one that we are going to do. If Canva can speed up, there we go. All right. We're going to do present.
I'm excited to
All
get
right.
controversial.
No, people won't be upset about this whatsoever. Are you guys ready? We're going to play a game. And that game is called... Here we go. Is it better than the boy and the...
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Phil. You are not
And
about to double down.
I have put together some films, and you guys are going to guess whether or not that these films are better than Boy and the Heron.
Based off of what exactly?
Based off, just what do you think?
Okay.
What do you think the answer is? No, but not what do you think. What do you think the actual answer is? Because we're gonna bring back the wheel, baby. You guys don't have to say spin that wheel. I'm just gonna spin it for you.
That'd be great.
So here we go. Let's see what the first option is. Is it better than Boy and the Heron? All right. Over the Hedge. Do you guys remember the animated film Over the Hedge?
God,
I think
I
Bruce
have
Willis
not heard of that.
is a
Yes, Bruce
squirrel.
Willis. He is.
Yes.
Bruce Willis is a squirrel. It's actually a pretty funny movie. When did it come out? Like 2003? Something like
I
that.
love that movie.
Over the Hedge. 2006 movie. When a fellow woodland creature awakes from winter's hibernation, they find that they have some new neighbors, humans. And RJ, an opportunistic raccoon who shows others how to exploit the suburban bounty laid out before them. Guys, is it better than The Boy and the Heron?
I don't feel like I can play this game. I didn't watch the boy.
Just go how you feel, Flynn.
I'm gonna say no, it wasn't.
Eric?
I'm looking at the soundtrack because I remember there was like a banger song on this soundtrack that's definitely going to make it on
I
the
will
playlist.
say that the scene where the squirrel takes a sip of, is it a soda?
And he goes he has like a flash. It's like the original Flash and Quicksilver scene.
Yes.
It was Over the Hedge.
That scene is phenomenal.
I
Yeah,
will
no, The Boy
say
and the
I
Heron
did
is
cry
better.
at one point.
All right, Eric says no. Flynn, what do you think?
You cried during what, Jordan?
During Over the Hedge?
Hedge.
Oh,
In which scene?
Yeah. When
when
you
the
think
daughter
that
plays dead.
Yes.
I guess we have to
That was-
rewatch it.
that
Flynn,
was sad.
is it better than Boy and the Heron?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, you're all wrong. The answer is yes, it is better than Boy and the Heron. All right, not a good start for you guys. All right, let's go with the next. We're only going to do like 3 of these. We're not
So
gonna
I
not-
feel like
no,
it's
it's not gonna be
based
bi-
off
it's not gonna be-
film.
No, this is
Yeah.
this is data. The B movie
What-
is
Okay.
the B movie better than The Boy and the Heron? I don't think I need to remind you guys. In the B movie, I'm pretty sure Jerry Seinfeld as a bee has
Yes.
sex with an adult woman. So is the B movie better than The Boy and the Heron?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no, just because again, Jerry Seinfeld as a
Barry
a
the Bee.
For like, how long was the movie?
It is an hour and a half.
Too long to hear Seinfeld for that long.
Philline?
I'm only gonna say yes because of the fact of the nostalgia of it, because I forced Phil to go see an early showing of this movie when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
I never.
So mad.
I still haven't forgiven her for it, but yes, it is better than The Boy and the Heron. Good job, everybody. All right, let's do another one. Let's see what we get here. Eric, this would be a good one. Vivo.
Okay, now hold on. Hold on now. Not as a joke. Not as a joke. It's a yes. It's a yes for me. I definitely, Boy and the Heron's a 3 on Letterboxd. If I had graded Vivo, it's at least a 3.5. So that's a legit yes from me. I love the soundtrack. I love the movie.
A music-loving kinkajou embarks on the journey of a lifetime to fulfill his destiny and deliver a love song for an old friend. Jordan, better than The Boy and the Heron?
Yeah, it is.
Philline?
I am also gonna say yes. My stepkids love this movie, and so do I.
You guys are on. Great job. 100 points for all of you. You guys are doing a great job. We'll do one more because I really want a specific movie to pop up, and I don't think we're gonna. Oh, okay. Well, this is an interesting conversation as well. Eric's favorite movie, Suzume, is on here. Pokemon, the first
Absolute
movie. Is
I
Pokemon
liked
the first movie
Pokemon
better
the
than The
first
Boy and the Heron?
movie. Like, I'd
The
say
first
yes.
movie is pretty legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cried
I'd also say
watching
yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
movie.
the one where
Remember
Ash.
Pikachus are slapping the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And... All right. You guys all said yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Great job. It is better than The Boy and the Heron. You guys are doing so. 1,000 points for each and every one of you. Other movies on here: Chicken Little, Suzume, The Croods, and Ants, which is the one that I really wanted to show up. I don't think it's going to. I'm just going to spin anyway. And no, we're going to get Chicken Little. Okay, so here's the only one that I think I would give to The Boy and the Heron.
I was gonna ask.
And the answer is no. The Chicken Little is not better than The Boy
You
and the
guys shit
Heron.
on Ants the other night like a lot. Like, I really feel like it shouldn't be on here.
Oh,
I didn't shit on
Here we go.
You guys hated Ants. That's what you said.
No, I have Ants on VHS.
He's
It was Phil who was
Ants
doing the
better than
impression
The Boy
of,
and the
like,
Heron.
Stop, Phil.
Is Ants better than The Boy and the Heron? That was more That was more Jimmy than it was Woody Allen.
I was going to say, I was like, who is that?
Sylvester Stallone just goes, no. No.
Yeah, well, much better than The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, all right.
Miyazaki.
All right. That one was pretty fun. Eric, there you go. I did that one for you for the content.
You did it for me?
Did
Okay,
it for the content.
Thank you.
All right. This one, I actually am pretty much... I stole this one, but, who cares? It's a good idea. So we are going to do this one here, and this is the last game I have prepared for y'all. And this is Guess the Movie based on the Letterboxd review. So I got this from a YouTube page, and these are all negative reviews. So these are the worst of the worst when it comes to these films. So I'm going to read the review for you guys, and you're going to guess what it is from. So, first one. I want to make sure I don't skip too far ahead. Okay. This film was a waste of time. This movie, instead of having a good story, decided to shove feminist propaganda up your butt and leave it there. What film do you guys think this is?
I'm going to assume that's Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah, I was going to say Barbie.
It is Barbie. Shout out. There were
Feminist
a lot
propaganda.
of those, unfortunately. Right up our butts. So that is Barbie. All right, let's go to the next one here. The absolute bare minimum. This is not a film. This is capitalism at its finest. It only exists to capitalize on the nostalgia trend and take your money. I propose we bring back burning people at the stake, but instead of innocent women, we burn people who make movies like these. People put stuff like this on the internet.
Now, question: did you only pick movies that came out this year, or is it just
yes,
all
they are all
movies?
movies that came out this year.
Okay.
Yes.
Mario.
Super Mario Brothers? Yeah.
Eric, what do you think?
I kind of hope it's The Boy and the Heron.
Is that what you're going with, Boy and the Heron?
Honestly, because I have nothing else. I know that's not it, though.
It is Mario. It is Mario. So if you had a hand
Someone
in
was
creating
that
that movie,
angry,
watch out
though.
for that guy. There was... Listen, for all of these movies, there are some really, really angry people on the internet. It is quite concerning. All right, next one. This movie is dog shit. Couldn't even watch 15 minutes of it without walking out of my IMAX theater. So hyped, and the animation isn't even that good. All you pretentious film bros and dick suckers are so hyped up on cocaine that you bought using your daddy's credit card after a long, not long at all, day at the USC film course. Think this is a good movie. You need to watch a real movie like Citizen Kane or Taxi Driver. We need real movies again. Hashtag Scorsese was right.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Scorsese was right kind of tells me that it might be a Marvel project, but it's also saying animation.
I'm gonna go with Wish.
Okay,
Oppenheimer.
Philline guesses Wish. Jordan, what do you think? All right, Oppenheimer. Eric, what do you think?
I also thought Oppenheimer, but it talks about animation. I'm gonna probably
Maybe
go...
they think the cloud is an animation, you know?
I'm gonna also go Wish here.
All right, it is Across the Spider-Verse.
Wow.
Stop it.
Yeah, I thought maybe the Scorsese was right. Like you said, Eric, you were on the right path, like of Marvel and superheroes. So, yeah, I thought it was...
Why would someone have that thought? It didn't even cross my mind that someone would think that way.
That is why it was so much fun putting this together. This will probably be a recurring thing for not just games, but yeah, this one is really, really fun. All right, next one.
Oh my gosh.
I guess the leftists would say it's still gender normative, but the male character is introduced through tears, and at the finale, revived by his tears. The assault on male identity is reaching new lows.
Introduced through tears and at the finale
tears.
revived by this.
Oh, you did not. Phil, you did not.
Oh!
Is it Elemental?
It's...
I swear to God, if it's Elemental, dude, I'm done.
Jordan, what do you think?
I've never seen Elemental, so I don't know anything about any man's tears, so Oppenheimer.
That makes sense, because the assault on male identity.
It is Elemental.
You son of a bitch.
Listen,
So did you
these
write
are
this
all...
review?
No, I did not. These are all half-star reviews. I didn't hate the movie that much. I thought it was fine. That there was.
I literally was like, what movie started and ended with someone crying, and Wade's face immediately came to mind.
That's not
How
a good thing.
dare you?
That's not me. That's that guy. That wasn't me. All right, I believe
He's
there
still
is one
blaming
more.
you for it.
It's fine. One more before we wrap up. Easily the worst movie of 2023 by a fucking landslide. 0 out of 10. I'd watch The Meg 2 again a billion times before I ever watched this. The Meg 2 was better, and The Meg 2 is an awful movie.
I'm gonna go with the Oppenheimer pick here.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Jordan?
Oppenheimer.
It'd been really funny if you didn't go Oppenheimer after going Oppenheimer like over and over again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It is Oppenheimer. But
You
that
can tell
was
I
the
didn't really
last
watch
one.
many movies except Barbie and Oppenheimer, though.
But this was a lot of fun. I think this one will return. I just wanted to test it out and see how it would go. It's also exhausting to go through that many negative reviews of films that are actually pretty good and come up with those. But I do have a third one prepared. If you guys want to do a top 10 list, we can do that really quick.
Up to you.
Sure, let's do it. It is a holiday themed one. So what do you guys think? We EW Entertainment Weekly ranked the top 10 Christmas movies of all time. So if you guys would want to guess and see what we can come up with, number 9 is like one that I've really never heard of. So I don't know if you guys will get it. So if it comes down to it, I'll just tell you what it is. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and start guessing, let's guess the top 5. And we'll do that, and then that will end the episode, the holiday edition of What Did I Miss?
Home
I'm gonna
Alone.
go with the Christmas Story.
Christmas Story is number 2. Eric loves that movie.
Yeah.
Christmas Story is number 2. What did you say, Jordan?
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Home Alone is... I know it's on here. Number 11, so it's outside of the top 10, which I think is wrong.
Home Alone 2?
No.
Wow, okay. The
Jingle
Polar
All the Way.
Express.
Polar Express, no. Jingle All the Way, it should be. But no, it is
Polar
it is
Express
not
is
on
not on
here.
there?
Polar Express is not on here, no.
Wow. Elf?
Die Hard.
Elf is number 4.
Yeah.
Elf is number 4 for some reason. Even though there is a much better Will Ferrell Christmas movie out there, but that's number 4. I cannot believe what number 7 is. Die Hard is number 16.
Jurassic World wouldn't be on there, right?
Number 1, actually. No, it's not. It's not on here.
You're damn right it wouldn't be, because it's not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, just like Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Love Actually?
Love Actually is on here. It's number 6.
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus, I think, is number 20, so they ranked it 20th. Yeah.
Wow.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
I was about
Yeah,
to say
the
that
animated one is number 5. Yeah, the animated
I'm
Grinch is
sorry?
number 5. Yep.
The animated Grinch?
Yeah, the 1966
Yeah, what about the other one?
animated. Not on here.
Oh, the classic. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the newest one.
Oh no, not the one with Doctor Strange.
You know. I meant the Jim Carrey one, but I get it.
Yeah.
Rudolph?
Rudolph is on here. I think it's number 10. Yeah, number 10. Also another one of Eric's favorites.
Charlie Brown
Miracle on
Christmas.
34th Street?
A Miracle on 34th Street is on here, but it is not in the top 5. What did you say, Jordan? Oh, Miracle on 34th Street, right?
Yeah.
15.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, number 15. Yeah.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
And then
Holiday?
Jordan said something.
Number
Brown.
3. Charlie Brown Christmas is number 3.
Is The Holiday on there?
No. We need number 1, and that's it. You guys are missing number 1.
Oh.
Think classic.
Like how classic?
Like
Frosty
we're
the
missing
Snowman?
we're missing it obvious.
I would say it's but like not for us.
A Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol, yep. Christmas
No.
Carol. Well, It's a Wonderful Life. That's the Christmas Carol, right? I mean,
Is
It's
it?
a Wonderful. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else.
No.
Well, It's a Wonderful Life is it's number 1.
I was gonna say.
I
I was like, that's not the same.
I got those stories mixed up.
Is
And
that,
then I
the
saw
one,
the
is, that,
picture.
is that the one where all the ghosts haunt
yeah. Is that
Ebenezer
not what
Scrooge?
happens in the Wonderful Life?
It
What
doesn't sound
happens
like
in
that
The
for the
Wonderful Life?
title.
Oh, I got those mixed up. Well, number 1 is It's a Christmas Carol. Bad Santa is number 7, which is interesting. The Muppet Christmas is number 8. Number 9 is The Year Without a Santa Claus, which I don't think I've ever seen. It's
That's
like
one of those
this-
stop motion ones, right?
Yeah, it's like a gremlin or something. I don't know what he is. Mickey Rooney is in it. And then number 10, Rudolph. Home Alone 11. Trading Places, I've also never seen. That's number 12. Nightmare Before Christmas is number 13.
Was Krampus anywhere on this list?
No, I don't think so. White Christmas is on here. You know, I don't even think what Eric said is on this list. Christmas Carol. 19 is
Wild.
Gremlins, which is another interesting pick. And then Scrooged is on here as well at number 17. But there we have it, folks. The December edition of What Did I Miss? We wanted to keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter and, try out some new games, which I think were successful. One of them, anyway. But I think that one will at least make a return. But Philline, Jordan, anything else you want to tell our audience as, we've had a lot of fun in 2023. We appreciate you guys being our guinea pigs for the return of What Did I Miss? Anything else you want to tell the Wait For It audience before we get out of here?
Have a happy new year, guys. And this time I'm actually going to talk about Brick City in February. Come see us.
There we go. Super Bowl weekend. All right. Well, guys, thank you again for joining us. We'll wrap up the episode, Eric. We'll keep it pretty short and sweet. Again, we appreciate everything that any of you listening, watching, whatever you're doing, have have done for us this year. We've really enjoyed hanging out with you, meeting you for the first time. If we got to interact with you at like a convention or something, you can interact with us a number of ways in our Linktree link. You can go to our Discord, where Philline and Jordan have been awesome this year as far as adding content on there. You know, a lot of stuff that they're watching, a lot of pop culture news. You can keep up with us there in the Discord. You can also find us on social media. Instagram and TikTok are the two primary ways of connecting with us. That's also in the Linktree link. You'll also find all of our archived episodes. If you missed anything, make sure you go back and listen to our 2023 End of the Year Awards if you haven't done so already, and the awesome Super Bracket Bros Cinematic Universe Christmas special. That was a whole lot of fun. If you want to support the show, you can share the content, tag us, let us know you're listening, leave 5-star reviews wherever you possibly can. All that stuff helps. So, Eric, if you want to get us on out of here, also let them know if they want to support us a little bit more, they can. But other than that, I think we are good to go.
Yeah, we are. This is a bonus episode, so if you're with us, you're rocking with us, and you want to do a little bit more, make sure to check out our Buzzsprout page, or you could go to our Patreon, where patrons like Stefan and Breyer are helping to keep the show running. With all that being said, we truly appreciate it. We're ready for another strong year in 2024. My name is Mr. Eric Almighty. That is my co-host, Phil the Filipino. And we also had Jordan and Philin. Big round of applause. 2 episodes in a row. You guys did great. But it's time for us to check out. Make sure to always come back every Wednesday for new episodes on the podcast, along with bonus content that you can find on platforms like TikTok. And all you got to do is wait for it.
So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.